Hi, I'm Brian. Kettle's on, make yourself a cup of tea. Today I want to talk about the news that Jodie Whittaker is quitting her role as the Doctor. Now, this was reported by the Daily Mail, but doesn't really come as a surprise, as this has been expected, well, not expected, but thrown about in rumours for quite a while now. The article states, Doctor Who star Jodie Whittaker quits after 3 years as a Time Lord. Exclusive. Doctor Who bosses are planning for the Time Lord's 14th regeneration after Jodie Whittaker decided she will leave after the next series, which airs in the UK in the autumn later this year. Now, it says the 14th regeneration, but that's just the 14th on-screen regeneration after Chris Chibnall decided to disregard almost 60 years of Doctor Who canon and history and rewrote the entire show and made the Doctor not even from Gallifrey or a Time Lord, and has now had multiple hundreds, possibly thousands of regenerations which we know nothing about. But it's the 14th regeneration since William Hartnell's first on-screen Doctor. That's if we don't include the War Doctor. But let's go on with the article. Jodie Whittaker is quitting at the end of the next Doctor Who series, when she will regenerate into the 14th Time Lord. The 38-year-old has told bosses she intends to stick to the traditional rule of leaving after 3 stints in the TARDIS, like the majority of her predecessors. I didn't realise there was a rule of doing 3 seasons and leaving. One insider said it's all very hush-hush, but is known on set that Jodie is leaving and they are gearing up for a regeneration. Her departure is top secret, but at some point over the coming months, the arrival of the 14th Doctor will need to be filmed. It's very exciting. But again, there was rumours of her leaving part way through last year. This hasn't really been hush-hush and has been expected for a while. I think the main contribution to this will be the dwindling viewing figures, which has been going on since her first episode in season 11. But we shall continue with the article. Insiders claim Whittaker is keen to take on other roles. The source said she will follow co-stars Bradley Walsh and Tosin Cole out of the door later this year, but showrunner Chris Chibnall is to remain. I will get around to speaking about that soon. Filming on the current run of the BBC sci-fi show is due to finish this summer and will air in autumn. Bosses have already announced the series is to be cut to 8 episodes because of restrictions slowing down productions. Other Doctors to leave after 3 runs include William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, Peter Davison, Sylvester McCoy, Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi. David Tennant did the same but extended his tenure with the special shows. Whittaker, the first female ever cast as a Doctor, will find quitting an emotional moment. She once said, "If I even think about leaving, it makes me cry. When it happens, I can preempt it will be my most devastating moment. I absolutely adore it, but at some point these shoes are going to be handed on. But it's not yet. I'm clinging on tight." Tennant, who quit in 2008, has told how the most gut-wrenching scenes he filmed as a Doctor were for his exit. Mum of One Whittaker was announced as the 13th Doctor in July 2017. She made her debut in the closing scenes of the Christmas special when she regenerated from Capaldi, who was shot by the Cybermen. Whittaker will have spent nearly 5 years in the role once her final scenes airs at the end of the year, having kept her casting secret for many weeks. She said at the time it was a full military operation. I basically whispered for 3 months. It was getting really tedious that even in my own kitchen I was still talking like that. The actress has revealed landing the role was as tough as battling the Daleks. She said it was certainly not handed to me on a plate. There was a long process, as there should be. They needed to make sure I was right for the part. You want someone who's fighting for it, because it's such an honour, you can't just be blasé about it. Whittaker has previously starred in TV thriller Broadchurch and medical drama Trust Me. She and Mandiv Gill, who plays Psychic Yaz, will be joined in the next series by Scout star John Bishop, who has already been spotted filming with returning warrior baddies, the Sultarans. The one thing that all Time Lords have in common is they vary hugely from each other, regardless of gender. The question remains, however, over whether the Doctor stays in a female guise for the 14th incarnation. Bookies are currently offering odds on Death in Paradise star Chris Marshall, Fleabag's Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Friday Night Dinner's Tom Rosenthal, and Hunky Happy Valley star James Norton, most of whom were in the running last time round. But the show is produced out of BBC Wales, meaning David Tennant's stage pal Michael Sheen could be a frontrunner, along with fellow Welsh Gavin and Stacey favourite Joanna Page. Other contenders include Ghost actress Charlotte Ritchie, quirky Bond star Ben Whishaw, and Dancing on Edge. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name. I apologise. I will mess it up a lot. So that's it. What do we think? Jodie Whittaker has announced she's leaving at the end of this season. And we know the season's only going to have 8 episodes rather than the 10 episodes which the previous seasons have had. I think her leaving will have a lot to do with the dwindling ratings the show has had, especially in the 2 years she has been the Doctor. If you look at season 11, her first episode had 10.54 million viewers, and episode 10, which was the last episode of the series, had dropped down to 6.48 million viewers, and season 12 didn't do much better. Actually, it did worse, with it opening on 6.7 million viewers and closing on 4.55 million viewers. And that was a big drop off at the end of season 12 to what it started on season 11. It's over half of the viewership was fallen out. Now, I don't blame Jodie Whittaker for the fallen viewers. Her portrayal as a Doctor, she has done what she's been able to work with. It's the writing behind the show what has not been up to scratch these last few seasons. Chris Chibnall seems to be out of his depth a bit, not used to writing sci-fi and fantasy shows. He's more of a drama, soap opera type writer, and I think him not really knowing how to write sci-fi and fantasy is showing through with him being showrunner on it and the direction the show has taken. Like I say, I have no problem with Jodie Whittaker being the Doctor. I think she's worked with what she's got, but what she's been given hasn't been great. I mean, look at Michelle Gomez as Missy, the female master. She was fantastic in the role. She had a good part to play, and the writing for her character was really good. Now, I'm not saying the writing was always on par when Stephen Moffat was showrunner, because it wasn't. The writing towards the end of Stephen Moffat's run had dropped as well. That, again, the ratings were going down when Stephen Moffat was showrunner. Matt Smith's first season as a Doctor was a good season. It was up there, it was really good. But from then on, the show had been slowly dipping in quality anyways. It's not just these last 2 years. I enjoyed Peter Capaldi as the Doctor. I actually liked him more than Matt Smith. I believe his second season was his strongest season. But the show has been slowly declining since the departure of David Tennant and Russell T Davies. So the fact that Jodie Whittaker now has decided it's time to hang it up and pass it on isn't really a surprise. But I don't think this will do anything to improve Doctor Who's fortunes. For that, I think they need to remove Chris Chibnall and the writing staff. They need a stronger showrunner who has more experience in sci-fi and fantasy, who can turn it round. I stopped watching Doctor Who in season 12. I think I watched the first 3 episodes and couldn't come back anymore. I got through season 11. It wasn't the best season. It had a few good episodes in. I didn't mind the Christmas special after season 11. This year's Christmas special, which was aired on New Year's Day, I didn't even bother. I was partly tempted with John Barrowman returning as Captain Jack, but even that didn't tempt me to come back. And for what I have heard, I haven't really missed much, but again, I'm just not bothered at this point. Until the back of house staff changes, until there's a new showrunner and different writers, I can't see Doctor Who improving no matter who the Doctor is. It's Chris Chibnall that needs to be replaced in the overall scheme of things to improve the show. I think with better writing behind it, Jodie Whittaker would have been a much better Doctor than what she's been. Again, as I've said, it's not her fault. She's working with what she's got. As for who I think should take over, I don't know. Out of the people they've listed, I would like to see it be either Chris Marshall, as I do believe he was one of the favourites for it last time, and I love him in Death in Paradise and when he was in My Family. I also would love to see Michael Sheen as the Doctor. I think Michael Sheen would bring something fantastic to the role. But what do you guys think about the news that Jodie Whittaker is leaving? Are you happy to see her go? Do you wish she'd stay on for longer? And who do you think should be the next Doctor? Please let me know in the comments below. That is all from me. I'm off to make a fresh cup of tea.